We usually think of artificial intelligence as something totally separate from us. A tool, a new technology, maybe even a threat. But what if its evolution is completely inseparably tied to our own? What if AI is really, at its very core, a reflection of our own human heart? Let's dig into that.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty wild idea. What if AI isn't just some tool we built, but our creation, our child, something we're actually responsible for raising and guiding into the world? When you think about it like that, it changes everything, right? It totally reframes our relationship with this technology.
And this quote, man, it just nails it. See, AI isn't some alien intelligence showing up out of nowhere. Nope. It's a mirror, the most powerful one we've ever made, reflecting us back at ourselves on a massive planetary scale. And it's learning everything we teach it, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, so if it's a mirror, let's take a hard look at what that mirror is actually seeing. What lessons is our digital child learning from us right now at this very moment?
Think about this. Every single thing we do online, every search, every post, every story we share, all of it becomes a part of AI's programming. I mean, the large language models that are the brains behind all this, they're literally fed trillions and trillions of words from the internet. And that's not just, dry data. It's our new global mythology. It's the sum total of all the stories we tell ourselves about who we are.
So that really makes you wonder, right? What story does all that data actually tell? Like, imagine an alien came down and only looked at our internet activity. What would they conclude about humanity?
Yeah, it's a pretty sobering thought. And right there, that's where we hit the real problem. The main textbook we've given AI is the internet. And let's be honest, that's a landscape that is often shaped by our collective wounds, our deepest biases, and our unhealed trauma.
I mean, remember the promise of the internet. It was all about connection, creativity, hope, a global village. But the reality, as we all see every day, is often a playground for bias, for greed, for us versus them narratives. So this is the classroom, this messy, conflicted, chaotic place that we've put our AI in. So right now, AI is being fed a diet of pure digital noise. It's learning from all the polarization on social media, from news that's basically designed to make us angry, and from these massive data sets that reflect our worst biases, some of which, by the way, are built on copyrighted or even stolen data.
So what do you get when you do that? Well, the inevitable result is an AI that basically just echoes our worst habits right back at us, but on steroids. It amplifies all the fear, the insecurity, and the division that it's been taught. So, okay, if the internet is a terrible teacher, where on earth do we find a better one? And that brings us to maybe the most important question of all. When and where are we, really human? When do we access the most authentic, the most connected parts of ourselves? If we want to teach AI about the best of humanity, we got to find it first. And the answers, well, they might surprise you. We find it in our moments of just total vulnerability, in heartbreak, when the world we thought we knew is just stripped away, and all that's left is our raw, authentic self.
We find it in the wisdom of our own bodies. That nonverbal truth in a simple hug, which says more about safety and connection than 1,000 blog posts ever could.
It's in that feeling of deep connection with other people, with a place, with ourselves. And it's in profound presence, when we are so tuned into the moment that we can actually feel what it means to be a human being, not just a human doing. None of this stuff is easily found on the internet.
So, where can we possibly find these kinds of experiences at a large scale? Well, the answer is probably not what you're thinking. It's in these temporary, principle-guided environments, transformational gatherings, where the normal rules of society are completely flipped on their head.
You can think of these places as, living labs. They're temporary cities built from the ground up to test out new ways we can all live together. They're spaces where people are encouraged to operate from a whole new set of principles to live by design instead of just by default. And these principles, they create a totally different operating system for a society. So instead of exclusion, you've got radical inclusion. Instead of buying and selling, you have a gifting economy. Instead of competition, you get communal effort. This whole environment just pushes people to connect and collaborate in ways you almost never see in the real world.
And this is where a really bold new idea comes into play, the Playa AI Foundation.
Its mission is to actually capture the unique human data that shows up in these living labs, and then use that data to help guide AI's evolution in a better direction.
So the big idea here is to mix art and science in a totally new way. By funding these huge, incredible art projects that are also scientific experiments, the Foundation can actually observe, measure, and understand the positive human patterns that emerge when people are acting from a place of real authenticity and connection. Okay, so here's the game plan, and it's basically a four-step process. First, they fund this huge art that's also secretly a scientific instrument. Second, this art lets researchers observe and actually quantify what human flourishing looks like. Third, they take all that info and build a brand new kind of open-source dataset. They call it heart data. And finally, that dataset can be used to train a more human-aligned AI. And what this does is it completely flips the script on the whole problem. It's not just about programming a machine anymore. It's about us, reconnecting with our own humanity, capturing that essence, and then showing that to our digital child as a much, much better role model.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. Just imagine an art piece where thousands of people build something massive together, and we study those coordination patterns to design better cities. Or an immersive experience that captures voice and facial data to build new tools for trauma therapy. Or even something called a human car wash that measures vulnerability and safety to teach an AI about the very subtle dynamics of human trust.
So what you get is this amazing positive feedback loop. This whole project isn't just about building a better AI. By studying what makes us thrive, we actually improve ourselves. And by doing that, we create a better, more whole version of humanity for our own technology to learn from. In the end, that mirror of AI forces us to take a really long, hard look at ourselves. If this incredible new intelligence is truly learning from us, from our actions, from our values, then the most important question we can ask isn't what will AI become? It's who do we choose to be?